Good morning to my over 40 crowd. Baby boomers, Gen X, even millennials, and anybody else who feels they kind of connect with what I'm talking about. So, life is simple, right? You're born either a boy or a girl. If you're a boy, you kind of like girls. And if you're a girl, you like boys. So you meet, you date, and then eventually you're going to meet the one, right? You'll meet your soulmate, your spouse to be. So you get married, you settle down. Remember the feeling though when you first meet? How cool that is? You know, before reality sets in. Just kidding. But that's a cool feeling when you meet her for the first time or you meet him for the first time. So it's simple, right? You get married, settle down, buy a house, start a family, and you live happily ever after, right? Not quite. So that's how it used to be. That's how they promised the American dream is gonna be. But reality sets in. And let's face it, in 2025, our world has gone crazy. Crazier by the day. Boys think they're girls. Girls think they're boys. Media, government, all bought into it to the point that they're letting full-grown boys compete in physical sports against girls. I'll never get that. Never get it. So it's gotten to that point. I know some moves have just been made to kind of rectify things, and hopefully it keeps going in that direction. Because some of these girls, you know, you hear about girls winning state championships, and the following year they go to do it again, and the training that's involved to compete at that level, to have it stolen by a boy pretending he's a girl, it's a tragedy. It's a horrible thing. I can't believe that happened in this country or the world we live in. But as crazy as the world is, our government has been against us. They're poisoning the foods. We've known this. We talk about it. Everybody just kind of rolls their eyes and goes and buys their processed foods again because it's convenient, you know, and then we give it to our kids and wonder why at some point our kids get sick or we get sick. You know, I guess in the back of our heads, we think our government will never do that to us. But when money's involved, everybody's got a breaking point. So this is factual. They've been poisoning us for a long time now, putting stuff in the foods. Medicines as well. You know, we've all seen the commercials, and I've talked about this before. You know, where the warning label or the small print at the bottom of the commercial, is bigger, longer than the benefits of the medicine. Yet people buy it in huge numbers, making people rich. You know, Ozempic and all that. Warning labels are crazy, yet we ignore them, and we'll still put this stuff in our bodies or our families' bodies. Food, you know, once again, you know, they play with the food. Our kids being raised on social media. Like, this isn't dangerous. Okay? My oldest son, I think he was 10 years old when he first asked for a cell phone. And I fought him. I'm like, no way. And, you know, you don't need a cell phone. I didn't get one until I was 27. And then I'm looking around, and all the other kids, even younger than him, have their cell phones. So we end up getting him a cell phone. And I get my other son a cell phone. And I get my daughter a cell phone. Before you know it, we're paying almost $400 a month for data packages and cell phone bills. And, you know, you find stuff to do with this, and then add to that social media. You know, which was harmless at first. It was cool to kind of connect with people and see news, all that's going on in the world. But now it's tainted. You know, let's face it. The stories are out there. You know, if you don't know it at this point, you don't want to know it. But social media is a horrible way to raise a kid. You know, I ain't gonna lie, you know, we all know when your kid goes to school, they're susceptible to whatever toxic kids are at that school. But that is what it is. That's part of being, you know, in a social society. And that's where the parents come in and they got to correct it. And hey, you know, that's a kid you don't want to listen to. These are kids you do want to listen to and teach them right from wrong. And that's part of parenting. But now social media, kids have their phones 24/7. They get all this information thrown at them and they got to dictate what they believe and what they think is right and determine right and wrong. And a lot of the times the parents don't even know what they're watching. So on top of that, we live in a society that idolizes the Kardashians. Talentless family that got their start with a sex tape where the mother actually picked out the sex tape. I guess there were 3 tapes and Kim Kardashian's mother picked it out. Snoop Dogg. I can't believe this guy was ever a celebrity. But here it is 20 plus years later, he's still on top of the world. And our kids love him. They don't know why, but they love him. So these are the influences in our kids, which is horrible. Social media. TV is another one. CNN. God, I remember after 9/11 and when we first invaded the Middle East, I'd literally come home from work and sit and watch CNN for hours. They were the news source, the trusted news source. Wake up in the morning after 9/11 and I just glued to that TV, just watching everything they're talking about, getting my updates. They were a legitimate news source. Now they're a propaganda machine. ESPN. You know, our kids watch ESPN, the sporting network. I haven't watched ESPN since they gave Caitlyn Jenner the Arthur Ashe Courage Award as Woman of the Year. Caitlyn Jenner, Bruce Jenner, Woman of the Year. Guy's not only a man, but he's friggin' Olympic gold medalist and Woman of the Year. I haven't watched it since. So what else do I got? MTV. MTV used to be entertaining, and you know, playing videos is harmless enough, but my God, they've gotten off track too. And our kids watch it and it's still around, and you know, we got to be on top of this as adults more than ever and dictate what our family watches, what our kids watch, because the stuff they're throwing at us ain't right. It's toxic, yet we keep doing it. We keep tuning in, we keep scrolling. Have you ever sat there? I've scrolled, you know, sat down for 5 minutes and started scrolling. And before I know it, you know, an hour's gone past, an hour and a half. Time goes fast when you're scrolling. But answer me this. Have you ever scrolled for that long or half hour or whatever and just thought, God, yeah, that's what I needed. I'm refreshed now. Yeah, it's a stress-free environment. Actually, it's not. It stresses me out because of the news they're peddling. And all the algorithms kind of work against you. They not only send you what you keep clicking on, but they send you stuff that you disagree with more than the stuff you agree with, because they know you're going to fight it and they know you're going to keep watching it. So, yeah, scrolling's another. That's just, it's I don't want to say it's definitely something that's wrong with society. I don't want to go overboard with this, but basically more than ever, we got to get involved and dictate what we watch, what our families watch. We got to limit it and make sure it's legitimate, you know, news or something worthy. So with us, more than ever, to take control of our lives, stop scrolling and looking for crap and start learning, because there's an awful lot of channels out there where you can learn how to make money, how to eat better, how to exercise better. So it's out there. That's what you should spend your time looking into instead of all the propaganda. And it's easy to get caught up. I get it. I do it too. But fight it. Try to be disciplined. And tune into the stuff and click on the stuff that'll make your life better, that'll help you. Stuff that you can learn. Make yourself healthier. Make yourself more financially free. Travel. You know, if you want to travel, all that's out there. Stay off the news and the toxic stuff and help yourself out. Have a great day, guys.